Well, good evening, everyone. My name's Suzanne Steele, and tonight we're going to gather some incredible experiences and testimonies about our newest Kenko Ground. Now, our Kenko Ground is an earthing pad, a grounding pad that has some amazing things built into it to make it extra special. But what's the whole deal about earthing and grounding? Do you get benefits just by going outside and putting your feet or your hands on the ground? To get us started, because my sister Lori shared this story the other day. Lori, would you share with what your experience?
Well, I can tell you what it's like to just be on the ground all the time, as opposed to not being on the ground all the time. During the school year, I am a cafeteria manager in a middle school, and I am on concrete all year long, indoors. In the summer, I am a lifeguard, and I have my feet on the ground. I'm sitting in a chair with my feet on the ground, and I'm walking back and forth on the ground because it's sand. And it is a total difference. My health has always been, I've always lost weight, I've always felt better, I've always slept better, and I always feel better in the summertime as I'm out on the ground all the time. Indoors, I literally have to go out and put my feet on the ground now. I don't have a Kenko Ground yet, they haven't come in, but I can tell you from experience, it is amazing. And my body, my joints, everything in my body feels so much better when I am in contact with the ground.
So Mother Earth has some good qualities that can help us, but we are removed. We're in our houses. And for those of us who are especially right now in the northern part of the hemisphere, we are covered with white snow. It's pretty, but something that you probably don't want to just go out and place your feet on long term. So how about if we go to Anne Brienza? Would you like to share what your experience has been?
Well, when I first touched the grounding pad in Toronto, I had put my hands on it and I felt tingly feeling, and then, didn't think much of it. But this Saturday, we had the opportunity to experience the pad. And before, when I got there, I was working on very little sleep. I had traveled from Florida to New Hampshire and then went to the conference, and I had about 4 hours sleep that night, which is not so great. And so while I was sitting listening to the conference, I was really starting to fall asleep. And then Suzanne pulled out the grounding pad and said, "Come on up and everybody touch it." So I got up and I was able to meander over, put my hands on the pad. Didn't feel anything. Well, again, I didn't feel tingling, but when I sat down, I was so alert. I was not sleepy anymore. I didn't feel tired. I was so tired that I was starting to feel nauseous. I did not feel that way at all. And the rest of the day, I was awake. So there's something to it.
Thank you, Anne. I'm looking at my time and I see 4:19, so I just want everyone to be able to speak. So we're going to turn it over to Lita. If you can share 30 seconds, that would be awesome, or less. Go right ahead, Lita. I'll unmute you, Lita.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is amazing because after the meeting, Anne and I had a wonderful discussion. We were together driving home, and then I curled up on the couch and I went to sleep for about 45 minutes. And I woke up and I haven't really gone back to sleep yet. I've had about 3 or 4 hours stretches of sleep, but like Anne, I've been alert, I've been focused. I haven't needed to sleep a lot. Last night was 3 hours, and that was it.
Wow.
And I'm just going, and it's very strange.
That's amazing. Thank you, Lita.
But the other thing is focused, the focus. I get brain fog a lot, or I tend to, but I haven't had it. It's really wonderful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now I'm going to turn it over to Milagros to share. If you could share a shortened version, since I'm seeing 2 minutes, we can always continue recording again, but go right ahead. We can hear you.
Hi. Oh, okay. Hi, it's Milagros. This is my first time doing this, so it's kind of interesting. Yes, Suzanne stopped over. I was supposed to go to the meeting on Sunday, and I've been feeling under the weather, and so she had stopped over afterwards and had put the pad on my skin, and I wrapped it around my waist. I had a Nikken necklace around my waist because I've been having some hip problems. I'd taken that off, and I started to feel the warmth, and then I felt this energy in my mouth and a taste, and I was very congested, and a lot of I was having a colonoscopy on Monday, so I had to stop taking my herbs, and so I was congested and had a lot of mucus, and I couldn't do my stuff, and it started breaking down. I mean, it literally was starting to dislodge itself from my lungs, and wasn't very attractive for Suzanne, and just clear, and I was just kept clearing it, and my voice started getting clear and clear, and my voice wasn't hoarse anymore.
How
It
long
was.
did that take?
My God, what were we there? 4 or 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was not that very long. That it started to work. I was kind of curious because I do have bad hips, and I do wear a necklace around my waist sometimes, and my hips were acting up. So I was kind of moving, and I realized it didn't help my hips. So this is so different than the necklaces.